Good evening, friends. I am reshooting this video on the edge in options buying. On the last video, SEBI video that we had, people are disliking, thinking that, I am making these regulations. It's not that. I just know, having dealt with SEBI over many years, what is their line of thought. Okay. So it's not that I am for or against the small trader, and I'm just letting people know how SEBI thinks about these issues. They want to avoid trouble, and if you look at it from their perspective, you will completely understand that where they are coming from. So, because of these new regulations, now people need some ideas on how to do option buying, which remains the more uh, less successful option compared to the option selling. See, option selling, you don't need any great knowledge. You come in the morning, you sell, and if market does nothing, you make money by the end, but it needs tons of more money. And because option buying does not need as much money, it requires a certain amount of skill. So let me go back and repeat what I showed you on my last video on the whiteboard. See, in my view, option buying responds best to mean reversion most of the time. Why? The reason is that mean reversion, the market first goes in one direction and then reverses and goes in the other direction. In breakouts, unless it's a very big breakout, the option buying does not respond as well, because you are not buying the options cheap enough. So let's start with my first idea. Most of you know what pivot points are. For those who don't, please Google or watch other videos on this topic. Pivot points and this R1, R2, S1, S2 are basically levels: support level, resistance level. So you have these several levels, and we look at them as support level and resistance level. Now I am discussing things from the perspective of the call buyer, but everything applies to the put buyer also, just in the reverse. Now the first idea is that the market opens and drops below S2, and since the mean is the pivot, if we don't get follow through beyond S2, often you get a rally in the second half which goes up. So out here, what you are watching out for is some kind of W pattern. Again, I have done videos on W and M patterns, etc. Or some kind of bullish candle, a large green candle, or a large pin bar. The idea is it has to be large, or a big red candle immediately cleaned out by green candle. Okay, so this is how this pattern works out. Basically, it's a mean reversion scenario. The second thing is it's a 2-day pattern. Day one is that you have a large red candle. Okay, day two, you gap down, and from the gap down you start to make some kind of a bottoming pattern. Often what can happen is that you can gap down into the low of this bar. Broadly, you have a big red candle, everybody goes over excuse me, short, and there is no follow through. And again, by the second half, you start to see this kind of upside. Okay, so the important bit to understand is this red candle cuts risk. Now you can gap down, you can even gap up and continue on the upside. That depends on different days. But the best trades often happen when the market gaps down and fails at the lows. The third option is you have a large downside day and the market finds support and it tends to make a couple of sideways. Now these two sideways can also be one sideways and one down. Important bit is that you are able to identify a high beyond which the market can explode. So this is the third pattern where you actually have call sellers sitting here, and these call sellers are forced to cover when the market goes up sharply. So this is the kind of pattern. Now again, don't be lakir ka fakir, which means it can happen even after one sideways bar. So that depends on different variations of the same thing. Important bit in all of these patterns is that you have downside before you have upside. Some people would say, why can't we have a green candle, pause, and another green candle? Yes, you can, and in certain trends, this will work. Okay, but the odds of this is worse than all these three patterns. The idea is there is no mean reversion here. There is a breakout trade which is happening. Mean reversion is something which works in all kinds of market. Breakout trading needs, some sort of news flow. So that being said, let's go back and look at some examples. So we reshare our screen, and now let's start with the with yesterday, which was Friday, 4th of June 2021. The market opened and soon went below S2. The S2 on this particular day was 35,285, and we went as low as 32,175, etc. Yes, 135, 175. So we went below S2, and you soon had this sort of a green candle which wasn't broken all of Friday, and now on Monday you are likely to gap up. Now this is a candle which is closed almost at the low point of the day, and as I explained, on Monday itself you are going to get a gap up and you may get a follow through from there. So this red candle makes the odds of Monday working out much higher, unless you have a very large gap up. Okay, in that case there could be a problem. But Friday's downside move gave you the setup to buy calls for Monday, and we did buy going into the close. So that way, this is going to work out. Now, what is important here? On the daily, this was the 5-minute chart. This is the daily chart. Daily 10 and 20-day moving averages should be on the upside. Okay. So do this only when you are in an uptrend. Now, just have a look at this day, which is 26th of May. Big red candle, pause, and the third day is a big green candle. Again, look at the 21st of May. Small red candles, big red candle closing at the low point of the day, and next day you got almost 1,000 points. Again, we look at 17th of May. Look at the day before, closes at the low point of the day and blasts on the upside. So as you can see that post a downside, the odds of getting a green candle are very high. See, the idea is you have to look for a failure of the downside. Okay. Again, if we look at this period where the averages were moving down, you had this bar which closed at almost the high point of the day. This is 7th of April, and next day onwards you started to come off because the high of this bar failed. Okay, so again and again what we see is, figure out the trend, look for a bar to close on the opposite end, and then take the other side. Let's look at some more examples on the 5-minute. Okay, let's look at this day. This was uh, this was 2nd of June. The market on the previous day closed almost on the low point of the day. Next day goes down and trades quite a bit lower, almost 200 odd points lower. Makes one low, makes second low, then higher low, and by the end of the day, you get a large rally. So somewhere here, which was 1 o'clock, when you are making this higher low, you can see the market is heading up. So this is where your call buying works. Okay. So first of all, look for a big downside intraday or end of day. Now look at this day. This is 28th of May. On this day, there was a last hour rally, right? Last hour rally, but overall the day was down. Next day, you open and you collapse on the downside, hold yesterday's low and make a W pattern. But this W pattern worked because of all the downside you got earlier on the previous day because of this downside. Okay, again you can see this was that 35,200, the huge rally we had on an expiry day. You gapped up and started failing below this high. So again and again you can see that whenever the market is closing at the high point of the day or the low point of the day, it is possible to construct a trade. Look at this day, opens and basically collapses down, and by end of the day almost closes at the low point of the day with a bit of rally towards the end. Next day you open and again you make a W pattern, right? But what is important? Important is this collapse. What happens is people tend to go short here, but the real setup is this W pattern. On the upside, you could get an M pattern. But what is the prerequisite? There has to be a rally to reverse. So I hope this is now clear that whenever you have a big downside session in an uptrend, you are looking for a reversal to the upside. Or if early morning you start to collapse below S2 or rally sharply above R2, you are looking at a failure at higher levels. That is what adds the edge to your trading. I hope all these examples are clear, and I hope this time you can see all the examples, and we'll close it here. I think what I've explained, the theory is fairly simple. What you have to do now is practice. Practice, because these patterns will hit your eyes ever so often. Look at this Thursday, this past Thursday, 3rd of June. Very next day, you made an M pattern, and that M pattern collapsed on the downside. But it was set up the day before because the market was closing at the highest point. So that should be it. Take care, trade well, and please consult your financial advisor and have a good weekend of whatever is left of it. Take care.